Okay. Hello everybody and welcome to this installment. This installment. Nope, no, I hate. Welcome to the whatever installment this is. I don't know how many of these I've done. Of Chit Chat with Mack. That is such a stupid name. I haven't done one of these in several months, so I just thought I should because people have questions, people have lots of questions. Sorry, I just turned into Miranda for a second. It happens every day. So I went on Twitter and Facebook and I asked you guys to ask me some questions, some things that you might want answered. So what's the first one? Let's read it. I got it on my phone. Annabelle Fitzsimons asks, when and why did you start singing? Just started out of the blue, or was it always a thing you wanted to do? I can't really remember when I started singing. It was probably as soon as I started talking. I've always loved music. I was always surrounded by music in my house. My parents have Michael Jackson on 24/7, so I was probably singing Michael Jackson songs maybe at like age 3. So it was probably because of just an innate musicality I had, and the fact that music was playing all the time. And then it became something I wanted to do. But I was really young when I realized that. I was probably about 11 when I realized that I really wanted to do performing and singing, music in some capacity. I played Annie in my 6th grade play. That was honestly, and still to this day, one of the most defining moments of my young life. I never had that experience before, being on a stage like that, just feeling like I had this newfound purpose. I think that was when I decided that was what I really wanted to do, like music in some way. Kyla Victoria asks, what do you think about coming to Brazil one day? Brazil. I would love to come to Brazil. I feel like you guys are probably the most devoted fans ever. I've seen people like when they comment on videos and just like social media in general, and it's just like, I love you, Brazil. You're great, Brazil. And other people from other countries do that too, but I feel like Brazil's like fan crazy, awesome, devoted people. But I would love to come to Brazil. I think it would be amazing. Gorgeous people, beautiful places to go. You know what? I might make a stop. I might make a stop at Brazil. Oh, this. So Aiden, I'm on Twitter now. Twitter. Aiden asks, can you drive? If so, what car do you drive? Fun fact about me. I cannot drive. It's not that I can't drive. I probably can, but I don't have my license. I never got it. I've never driven a car. I mean, I drove a car in Disney World, like the one that's on a track and is highly controlled and that little children can drive. I don't drive. But, you know, I've seen a lot of people that are very successful that don't drive, like Tina Fey, yeah, and Frida Pinto, non-drivers like myself. SR Music asks, my weird question, do you feel comfortable explaining to people the meaning of a song you wrote, like what it's really about, etc.? I really do. I really enjoy explaining the backstory of a song that I've written. And I think that stems from me loving to hear it from the people that I love. Like, I love going to shows and hearing an artist talk about where a song came from and how it came to be. And it's so cool because you have your own personal meaning that the song has for you, and then when you hear the writer explain it, it's totally different. So we all have our own interpretations, so it's just cool to see different perspectives and also just know the backstory. I think it's really cool, and that's one of my favorite parts about performing, going up there and sharing that and not being just a robot and singing the songs, but being personable and telling the stories. So I love talking about that. I think it's some interesting insight into the writer's mind and what they've experienced. So yeah. So Karamina asks, what songs do you sing in the shower? Primarily Justin Timberlake, to be honest with you. I sing like Senorita and Mirrors, What Goes Around Comes Around, what all of the Justin Timberlake hits you can think of, he is like my go-to. And then also Broadway tunes, particularly like classic Rent and Wicked. And it's my place to just like go nuts. Usually it's random though, it could be anything, but those are like my go-to shower songs. Gwen Louisa asks, if you could be a character in any movie, which one would it be and why? I think I would probably I would probably be Princess Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Oh my gosh, I wasn't always like a princess person, like a Disney princess girl. I was just never really into that. But Princess and the Frog came out and I just loved this character. I loved her story, and I hope you didn't just hear that toilet flush. Just disregard if you did. I feel like I relate to her in a lot of ways. I just think she's an amazing character, an amazing person, and especially for little girls looking up to princesses, because I don't necessarily love what all the original princesses were. I was like, Snow White. Hate me, but I love Princess Tiana, and she has a really good time, even when she's a frog, and she's working really hard. She's singing all the way through it. She gets Prince Naveen in the end, even though she doesn't really need him. She just like, okay. She cooks. I want to eat the beignets, even though they're animated. It's true. Kendra asks, she has a picture with Kina Grannis. Cool. Do you have any siblings? I do have siblings. I have 3 of them. I'm one of 4. I actually consider my dog my sibling. He's like my little brother. So I'll say I'm one of 5. Technically, I'm one of 4 humans. So I have an older sister, Nikki. Her real name's actually Olivia Nicole, but we call her Nikki. Some people call her Olivia. Some people call her OJ. She has like several different names. Nikki, she's Nikki to me. Nikki is 32. Casey is 26. He's my older brother, and my little brother, he is 19. His name is Quinn. Of course, Gizmo, he's 11, he's my puppy. And I have a brother-in-law, actually. My sister is married, and his name is Scott, and they're expecting. So I'm gonna be an aunt. I'm not excited about that or anything. Alicia asks, what do you love most about music? Love from France. What do I love most about music? I think it's this idea of escapism. I love music because it just makes me feel like I don't have to worry. Usually it's when I'm listening to it and I feel like I'm in another world. A song really sets a mood and takes you to another world in some cases and makes you forget. And I don't think you should forget about important things, but you know what I mean? Just kind of escaping into a place that feels like solace, I guess. It's just my favorite thing in the world to do, and it just happens to be that thing that I excel at over really anything else. I feel like it's my purpose, and I think that's what I love most about it. And writing music really helps me to understand my feelings and sort them out, because sometimes I can't verbalize them, speak to somebody, and like really convey exactly what I'm trying to say. So through music, I'm able to sort out those thoughts. Well, Sarah Bareilles, I was reading her book, which happens to be here on the stack. She says, she's put it perfectly. It's like she puts a name to the things she's feeling. You know, it might not cure it, but it sure helps you move in the right direction. So I think it's just escapism, feeling like you have a purpose, and feeling like you can understand your feelings a little bit better and maybe convey them in a stronger way. There's so many things that I love about it. I love that it brings people together too. It's universal. Like, you know, Alicia, she's from France. I live a world away. We're connected through doing what I do. So I think that's cool too. I don't know if I could say it's like what my favorite thing is. I just have many favorite things about music. Nez asks, what song moves you the most? Oh gosh, there are many of those. I think one song that I always go back to that always makes me feel the same way I felt when I first heard it is a song called Falling Slowly by Glenn Hansard and Marketa Glova. I don't know what it is about that song, and that's another one that you can interpret in so many different ways, whatever it means to you. I'm not sure exactly what it means to me or what it even means at all. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's, I think, what keeps me coming back to it is it means something new every time I listen to it, and it makes me feel some type of way. I'll tell you something. It can move me to tears every time I hear it, and I've heard it so many times, thousands of times. I've played it tons of times myself, and I think that's probably the song that moves me the most, because there's a certain mystery to it that I can't quite grasp onto, and I love it. I think it's beautiful too. It's just gorgeous and emotional. Glenn always sings with such passion and like rawness. So I think that's probably the song that moves me the most. So Amanda D'Souza asks, what's your favorite original song out of the ones you've written and why? I love all your originals so much. Thank you. That's my favorite. That's kind of tricky. I think my favorite is probably Pretty. I wrote that a couple of years ago. I should probably re-record it. Eventually, of course, I want to have these all on a record. It's just a matter of the stars aligning and it being the right time and place to put this all together. But Pretty was the first song I'd ever written that I saw like the effect that it had on people, and the first time I ever shared it was just at a show. I just was like, I have this new original. I don't really know all the lyrics perfectly, but I just feel like singing it. But I ended up singing this song, and I never experienced this where a table full of people that were eating stopped and listened like they did, and it seemed like they were really listening to what I was saying. It's not like they weren't listening before, it was just kind of like I could tell their attention was diverted and they were really focusing in on what I was saying. I was playing that particular show with a friend of mine, and he was like, man, I love that song Pretty. You moved me to tears. And it was such an eye-opener because I was like, here's a dude that, like a guy, I didn't think that a guy would relate to it in the way that he did, but he was the first person that really said, I really was moved by that song. It wasn't like I had like a target demographic for Pretty. It was just like young girls like me and teenagers and people like that will probably relate to it most, but to hear that a guy related to it, and then I ended up sharing it, and I just loved that response, and I saw this kind of gathering of people feeling the same way for the first time ever with a song that I'd written. So it was just kind of a moving, kind of powerful thing, and I think that's why I'm so fond of it. You know, it's so true to me. I feel like since it wasn't about a specific incident, like it wasn't about a particular breakup or a particular person, it was about a feeling that I had had for a very long time before writing the song, and it's a feeling that I still have from time to time, more honestly than I care to mention. That sort of inadequacy, is that a word? I don't know. That self-doubt about what you look like and that pressure that you feel from time to time, but I gotta rein it back in. But I think, like I said, it still is true. It's still always gonna be true, I think, to some extent. So it's a song I needed to write for me, and it was also a song that I saw, you know, had such influence on other people. So I think that's probably my favorite song, and I've just spoken for like 7 years about it, but whatever. So that's it, I think, for now when it comes to the questions that I answered today. Hope I answered them really goodly for all you guys. So I need to stop with the Miranda. It's just overtaking my life. If you guys want another one of these, let me know. If you want me to talk about something specific in another chit chat video, maybe I will film another one for you. Hopefully not in another like 7 months, but you know, whatever. Bye guys. What is this? What is this? Is this a wave? No, it's not.